So we're here with Mr. Eli Magic, another contestant from actually top 10 contestant, right? Top 10
Yeah.
finalists. He's like, yeah, I did it. What can I say? We got Eli Magic.
Howdy, y'all.
So this is Los Mariachi Sagas, the RGV Got Talent edition, episode something. And we have a guest that I've been wanting to have for a while now, actually. So I think this is going to be a good, interesting episode. Most people think Eli's on something all the time. She probably is.
I kind of am. Just life.
Or off of something.
Off of something. Yeah, that's probably it.
He should be on
definitely
something.
it.
He should be on something, but he's not. So, let's get into the episode. Mr. Eli Magic.
Mr. Alexis. Mr.
This-
Mariachi Sagas himself.
That's me.
What can I do for you today?
How'd you hear about the show? Start there.
Okay, so are you talking about RGVGT or Los Mariachi Sagas?
RGV.
Okay. So I heard about it. It was on Instagram, actually. I think I saw like an advertisement for it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And at the time I was doing like, a lot of open mics and music around the Valley. And I was creating this songwriting club. And I thought that'd be cool, but I'm a little bit too booked. So I was like, I'll just sign up for it later online. And then I guess the day came around that one of my buddies came over and they're like, hey, in a couple weeks, they're going to have this like, I think I sent my friend the link. Like I was like, I'm too busy to sign up for this right now. So I sent Adrian the link to RGV's Got Talent. And Adrian's one of the guys who taught me guitar. He's like a close musical friend. So I sent him the link, and I was like, okay, he'll sign up. And that way he can perform, and I can perform later too, and I'll sign up as well. But as long as I can send it to him so I don't forget later. And, well, the day came around, and he was like, hey, next week I'm going to do this RGV's Got Talent. And I was like, oh, man, I forgot to sign up. And it's like already so late. It's been like a month since. And so he told me that he was going, and I reached out to RGV's Got Talent, and I was like, hey, I'm creating a songwriting group. Can I come and like, check out what you guys have, and maybe we can do a collab or something? And he was like, yeah, like, come on over and like, check it out, and let's see what we can work together. And I was like, sweet, this will be awesome. And so I'm at a songwriting group, and I'm telling them all, let's go. And their first audition was on Sunday, and so I couldn't come out because I was hosting the songwriting club. But the next day was Monday, and they had another audition. So I came out in person, and I was like, I never signed up online, but I want to audition. And so they gave me the form, and then I went up there like off the cuff. I didn't know what I was going to perform, but I was like, I want to do something. And so I did. And then next thing you know, here we are. And there we were.
Did you audition week 1 or week 2?
Week 2. Oh, yeah, week 2. That's right.
What did you audition with?
If I'm being honest, I'm not entirely sure, but I'd like to say it was probably She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5.
Okay.
Probably.
'Cause I was there for week 2. That's when I auditioned, but I don't remember if I saw you
Okay.
I remember for sure seeing Shanti and Aldo.
Oh yeah. In week 2?
Yeah.
That was week 2?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow. I may have shown up late.
Maybe. I don't remember. But you made it. Right? You made it to the main cast. Um, then comes week 1. Now, so week 1 was just kind of like a showcase, basically, right? Because there's
Yeah.
nobody getting eliminated.
Yeah.
Um, I sang, and I left,
Oh
which
yeah.
Jonas did not like. I mean, a bunch of people left. You ended up winning that night.
I did.
I didn't even know there was going to be a winner. See, the thing is, I didn't, because I wasn't originally in, right? I was one of the first 4 out. So we were supposed to compete for our spot or something. But then some people ended up dropping. So there was exactly 18 of us left. So I was never made aware of the rules or how it's going to work or each week and stuff. So I was like, oh, saying nobody getting eliminated. I just left. So I did not see your performance.
Oh no.
No,
Wow.
but you won first place.
Yeah.
So it must have been a very good performance.
It was pretty good. It was pretty fun.
What did you do?
I actually did an original. I did a song that I wrote back in sheesh. Dang, when did I write that song? It must have been like 2018, 2017 or 2019. It might have been 2017. It was actually one of the first songs I ever wrote to a musical, well, to like guitar ukulele. Sorry. Yeah, and it's the only song that I've fully produced. Well, I say fully produced. It's still a demo quote. But it's one of the only songs that I've put out on Spotify. And so I performed that for them.
Did you have the whole Rockwell going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were. Everyone was singing along. Everyone was waving their hands. And I swear if I jumped into the crowd that night, I would have been crowd surfing.
Oh, man. Yeah, I missed it. My nieces they wanted to go eat. I was like, okay.
That's good, though.
So, yeah, I went with them. Then comes week 2. And you gave a show, another show week 2. That was
Did I?
Rock Week. You're the first person to go on stage.
Oh, yeah?
And you were grinding on that mic stand. That's what I remember.
Oh, yeah? Snap. What song did I do?
Don't even know.
I think it was Iris by by the Goo Goo Dolls, but Sleeping the Sirens. I think it was.
Wasn't that? I don't remember. It was because you were the very first person to go up. And I think you had an accompaniment. You had a guitarist.
Yeah, then it was Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. And I was putting on eyeliner in the bathroom.
Yeah. I remember that. That was, I think, the first time I ever seen you perform.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, who is this guy? I'm like, I feel like this guy's got a story. What was that first week? Or not, I guess not the first week since
Right,
the Rock Week. Yeah, the Rock Week. You chose that song.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
A little bit of a funny story, maybe. So Adrian, I can't remember what we were hanging out, and he has this book of quotes, right? Whenever he's hanging out with us, with like friends and whatnot, he will pull out his phone. Like if someone says something that's like stupid and outwardly and like just completely perfect to take out of context, like one of those terrible things, he will pull out his phone. And at this point, it's like we just go through the motions whenever he like holds up his hand and pulls out his phone because he's writing down a quote. And he writes down a lot of quotes around me. So one time we're hanging out and I can't remember the quote exactly. I'll have to find it. But in summary, it was like, yes, the iris. Actually, the pupils, yes. The nipple of the eyeball.
That's his masterful quote.
Yeah, that was what he wrote down. And because of that, I don't know, we like kept that up. It was like an inside joke for the next week. And that week happened to be coming up to Rock Week. And so when I was choosing a song, he was like, so what are you going to do? And I was like, all these rock songs going through my head. I was thinking about doing I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. But for the meme, I had to pick Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. And I'd give up forever to touch you.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah.
And you were on your knees. You were the shirt open. You were you're giving the show.
Yeah, it was a good one, man. Yeah.
But then you had a immunity that week, so
Yeah.
I mean you're already safe. I did. That's what I did, chasing cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the I just did a guitar. Yeah, it came out all right. My jacket was a little tight. So it's
Oh
hard to find.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, now I'm remembering a little bit more. No, I use my acoustic guitar, my classical guitar
That's right.
for that. And man, I should have used an acoustic electric.
Yeah, because you didn't plug it in, right?
No, because it was just classical. The reason I didn't is because I have a Martin acoustic electric, real nice. The thing is, I left it over Gatesville where I used to live, over by Waco, and I didn't have it with me, and all I had was my classical guitar. So I was like, let's do it, but that feedback was nasty, and it was just
Yeah.
I was like, I still made it through, so it worked out. But the next week, we did something we're proud to be.
Yeah, that's right.
You remember what you did?
I do actually. It was from the movie Moana. It was You're Welcome by Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
That's right.
Yeah, I had a couple of ideas for what I should do, but that one took the cake.
Why did you want to do that one?
So I'm not gonna lie, that was when I first saw that movie, it kind of brought me to tears. And Maui's like story of just kind of wanting to be accepted, and of like doing all these incredible things, and being the best that he could be, and like setting the bar of who he is to this like great height that people would look at him and think that he's like this god, he's like this person who could move the seas and lasso the sun, whatever it is. This guy who was like all powerful, quote unquote. But then at the end of it, it's like he's doing all these things because he wasn't accepted, because he was like, just trying to, I guess, prove himself. And I always felt like that was kind of, and kind of still is, who I am. I feel like a lot of people, which I'm very grateful for, will say that I'm, like you said, he's got to be on something, or off something, but like also he's this like, energetic character. He's this person who's always got everyone's back, and he's always like on the top of his game, or he's always like, just a ball of energy, a ball of light, but also, he's got a story. He's a character. He's someone. And so Maui's story kind of hit me pretty hard because it was like, you know, I put in all this effort and I try like way harder than I think people will ever realize. And I'm like way harder than on myself than I'll tell people. But at the end of it, it was like, it was like, it was sort of trying to be a little bit funny, like cocky, but at the same time, in the same way that Maui does it, in the same way that's like, you know, yeah, I'm all this, and I'm like showing off. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome that I'm like this great, that I'm like giving you guys a show, that I'm entertaining you. But moreover than all that, it's like kind of to myself. You know, it's like me trying to, you know, tell myself that, you know, by telling other people that they're welcome, I'm kind of telling myself that I was good enough to have someone be grateful for me, to have someone be thankful. So I did it as a meme because it's like, you're welcome. Oh, that's so funny. Well, who are you proud to be? I'm proud to be me. You guys are welcome. But also it was like I'm proud of all the things that I've done and all the things that I've overcome and all. You know, when it comes down to it all the, as hard as I am on myself, I am proud of where I am, even if I don't think that I'm enough yet. I'm at least proud that I'm still here and I'm still going at it. I'm still willing and wanting to be and to believe that I'm worthy.
That comes from Moana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can, you know, interpret song. I mean, that's the point of music, right? Songs. You hear something and it means something to you. Nobody can tell you that it doesn't, because they're telling you that what you're feeling is wrong.
Yeah.
We had after that week, it was acoustic night.
Yeah, unplugged.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unplugged. So, that night, by that point, I had my guitar ready. I did an original song. What's up?
Sorry, I was gonna ask. I do want to hear that too. But what did you do for Pride Night, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, that's where it was a big showdown between me and Shanti.
Oh yeah, that's right. That one was really cool.
I was in the full suit.
Yeah.
And sombrero and did Viva Mexico.
Oh, that was so cool, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, man, Shanti and I are cool. But the thing is, like, the week before, you know, we knew this week was coming, and she told me, I'm going to do Viva Mexico. And I was like, I'm going to do Viva Mexico. She's like, do something else. I'm like, I don't know anything else that'll fit. I'm like, you probably do like Mexico Lindo Querido or something else. And so when the order came out and we saw we were back to back, and then she messaged me. She's like, "Are you doing Viva Mexico?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like, fuck. So she went out. She went all out. Right? She had that dress.
Oh yeah.
She came from the other side of Rockwell and did a whole show. And yeah, I mean, I had to come out in the full suit. I had to put on a show. I ended up losing the battle, but it was it was a good performance.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the whole Rockwell was jumping.
Yeah, you guys tore that down. I was like, yo, the fits out here tonight and like the vibes. I'm glad you actually stuck to Viva Mexico because that
Yeah,
was really cool to see that show off.
and I mean we had to. It was also 16 de septiembre, which is Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're like, yeah, got to do it. And we also had the guest judge that week happened to be a guy who
Mhm.
sings mariachi and sang in palenques and stuff in Mexico. So yeah, fit pretty well. But the next week was the unplugged. I did an original. Before we get to what you did, I want to talk about mine because I used your guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got up on stage, plugged in my Martin, and nothing, no sound. I was like, what the hell's going on? I think the battery was probably dead. It just wasn't nothing. And I was like, damn. And I was just up there. I was like, fuck, I got to do this. So you had just finished. And so then I go up to you and I was like, Eli, can I like borrow your guitar? And you're like, yeah, sure. Because at first, I just asked you for your strap.
Mhm.
Your guitar strap. And you're like, do you want the guitar too? I was like, no, I got mine and everything. I go up there and it doesn't work. So then I go to you and then I use your guitar. So yeah, that was nice. And you know, that was a thing that happened a lot throughout the competition. People were kind of helping each other out or borrowing instruments or sometimes accompanying each other, which was nice. Something that doesn't always happen, right, in competitions like this, because you don't have to.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you didn't have to lend me a guitar, even a strap or anything. We just do it. Right. I mean, yeah, that's how I would see things. Like, it doesn't do me any good to watch you fail. I mean, I guess in a competition, technically it does, but I mean, who cares, right?
I mean,
It does. But what did you do that night? I don't remember. What? Oh, I remember.
which one? What did I do?
It was something that the judges were so conflicted about.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That's right.
You did hallelujah.
Yeah, that's right. That was a tough one.
Yeah. So how did you, you know, you do a little bit of hallelujah. You want to do a little bit?
Yeah, I'm down.
Well, I heard there was a secret chord. David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor foul, the major lift, the baffled key, composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
That was a little bit of Eli's version of hallelujah. Now the judges were, I think they were a little back and forth on it.
Yeah, understandably so.
It's because the rest of it, you know, is not the what you would expect hallelujah to go like or sound like.
Yeah. I really thought I was going to win that round until I performed it.
What happened there? Did you just kind of go off? You're like, I mean, I assume you've done that before, but just did you? No, that was just
That
you went off
was
stage and you're like, you know what? I feel like doing it like this right now.
it. Yeah, it was kind of, I planned on doing It was the first time I ever, like, I never really did fingerstyle before that.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, you know what? I'm not just going to strum. I'm not going to do that. And so I was like, I have to learn how to fingerstyle.
Yeah.
And so, well, I attempted it. And while I was on stage, I remember, like, I also had just learned the chords for the song. And I remember at one point I did A minor instead of C, and that threw me off. And so after that, I was like, oh, crap. And then the lyrics got all jumbled up. And so for a part in Hallelujah, I was freestyling.
Yeah, you did. That's right.
The judges didn't notice. But yeah, no, there were definitely parts that because I got thrown off by that wrong chord, and because like my mind was all scrambled after that, because I was like kind of panicking. I was like, oh, please don't let anyone notice this. I forgot to actually just perform. I forgot to sing. Instead, I was just freaking out on stage with grace, composure. So I was like, but on the outside, I was like, no. But I was like, I was planning afterwards. I got this note that was like, they're like, if you brought in more like grit, and I had the performance like planned so that by the end of the performance, it was turning. I love singing that song so much, because at the end of the performance, it was turning into this like sort of mangled like survivor type of Hallelujah, where it wasn't just singing. It was like, you know, as you go through it, it's like you can hear in the voice that there is this war-torn survivor who's like obviously been like beaten, and who has been like, you know, crying hallelujah, has been trying to like find that grace, because they obviously went through some things. And yeah, that song really, you know, it does strike a chord with me heavily. It's been pretty I guess prevalent throughout my being. And so I love that song. But when I performed it, I just forgot. I forgot to like love it, and I was trying too hard to like sing. I was trying too hard to perform it, to actually feel it and perform it. If that makes sense.
So, yeah, I mean, you had the whole audience, captivated and everything. Hallelujah. And then in the end, everybody was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, okay. But I mean, it was great. And you performed it last night at, a group of us went to the Flying Walrus.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, a lot of people liked the performance there.
Yeah.
Was it a little better than how you did at Rockwell?
Yeah. Probably.
And oh man, I do remember. I remember I do remember your audition now. See,
Yeah. What was it?
You started freestyling.
Oh wow, what a man.
And yeah, was it there you freestyled, or was it week 1 that you were freestyling your audition? No, because audition you didn't do an original. It was when you did an original.
Yeah. During the original I freestyled?
Yeah.
Really? That's really cool.
Yeah, because you stopped, and then so you're still playing the chord progression, and then you're calling out to the crowd saying, give me some words so I can rap on, or I can make up some lyrics, and nobody said anything. And then so you just started like freestyling, like here at the Rockwell, and it's with the judges and other stuff.
What a guy.
Yeah, nobody said anything. You just kept playing the same progression, and you're like, nobody nobody said anything.
It's like that sometimes because a lot of times, like people won't know, like they won't go up because everyone's expecting someone else to do it. So if I'm like, someone from the crowd, like, you know, tell me something. Most of the times you have to point out someone. I'll be like, you in the Alamo shirt. Yo, Alamo, how you doing? What's the flow? If you got a word for me, let it go. And I had to be like pointing and like specifically like singling someone out for them to be like, okay, it's me. I go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of times, you know, you can't let that freak you out. You just gotta keep going and pretend like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we go to battle rounds.
Oh yeah.
And man, that was, you went up against Aldo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you were the last to perform,
Oh dang.
and
Oh, that's
you were
right.
sick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was like the first week of my getting sick.
I remember that. What did you do?
I think I did There's Nothing Holding Me Back.
That's true. You
But
did.
there was
There's
something
nothing
holding me back.
You did. There's nothing holding me back with the guitar
And
and
piano.
a piano.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
And there's something that happened.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, I was dying internally.
Yeah. You didn't win the round.
Yeah, no, that sucked so
Spoiler.
bad.
Spoiler. Yeah. Eli didn't win that round.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the week I got eliminated. Because I went against Shanti.
Oh, yeah. Dang, they had you up against her twice.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, but it was good. But yeah, you didn't. There's nothing holding me back. And again, you did your own version, right? Your own take.
Yeah.
Your own take. I think as the competition started going, there was a pretty like distinct parallel with you and Andre.
Yeah?
In the sense of, you take a song, you're like, oh, that's cool. Let me make it like Eli.
Yeah.
Andre's like, oh, there's a song. Let me copy it exactly how it is, down to the voice, mimicking the stuff. We talked about this when Andre was on the show.
Mm.
And he does put his twist on it at the very end.
Yeah. That.
Yeah. But you take a song and then you're like, just completely do whatever you want to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you do something like that, I think it's just as risky as trying to imitate somebody.
Yeah.
'Cause when you're trying to imitate somebody, you got to sound exactly like them, or else, you know, it's just gimmicky, right? And when you take a song and completely do whatever you want to it, it's got to be good.
I'm so proud of myself. Doing that, for even attempting it. Sorry.
But when you did, there's nothing holding you back. Didn't you forget the words?
Yes, I forgot the words for most of the songs I performed throughout RGV's Got Talent.
Yeah, you did.
Don't tell anyone that, okay? This is off the record, right?
I was like, nothing
kidding.
holding me back. And then you were just quiet for a few seconds, and then you just said the same thing, and I was like, I don't think that's right. But you were sick that time, right? So yeah, you showed up towards the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
because
came
Jonas
in.
told you to just basically go at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was going on that during that time? You started getting sick around there.
Yeah, I got sick later that week. And after that, I was like, oh, man. I didn't get better until like maybe three weeks after getting sick. And so for like Nothing Holding Me Back. And then it was Linkin Park. No. Then it was Zach Bryan.
The next week was Power Ballads.
Yeah, Zach Bryan.
You did Zach Bryan.
Something in the Orange.
Oh, okay.
And then Linkin Park.
Linkin Park was Tribute Night.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Tribute Night, then Power Ballads.
Oh, was it Tribute Night first?
Yeah, I keep mixing
Okay.
those. Yeah, it was Tribute Night first. Because, yeah, I was there for Tribute Night. That was the last week that I was even going to the competition. Yeah, I remember you did Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Jake also did Linkin Park.
In the end? No.
I don't remember which one, but
What I've Done.
I think it was What I've Done. Because there was two Linkin Park songs that day.
Yeah.
And then the Power Ballads came. By the point of the Power Ballads, it was already week 7, and we go to Country Night.
Ah, yes.
So I heard you didn't do so well
What?
at Country Night.
Oh.
Were you in the bottom 3?
I was actually so after those few weeks of being sick, it felt like my lungs, like I didn't have COVID. I tested. I think I tested. But my lungs didn't feel like they had enough air, and I felt like I couldn't sing properly. So for that song till Tribute Night or the Power Ballads, I felt like I was like, a smaller version of myself. Like I felt like I wasn't going to perform. I was like, I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to perform my 100% any of those weeks. So I felt like it was like, I already went in there winning. I mean, expecting to lose. But Country Night, I had gotten a lesson with Mirka just before, so I could learn how to breathe again and how to I guess hold and sustain a note, because that was really frustrating, and I think a lot of it was probably just mental. But Country Night, actually, I ended up doing Would You Go With Me by Josh Turner.
Oh.
And I ended up winning that night.
You ended up winning that night?
Yeah.
Which is the night that you were the bottom 3?
Bottom 3 night was, I think that was the night that Jakey got eliminated.
That's right. So that was Power Ballad.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it was Power Ballad night. Yeah.
It was Power Ballad. Your Linkin Park.
Yeah. No.
Rendition.
It's
No.
Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryan.
Something in the Orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Man, I'm sorry for the listeners. We're getting all this mixed up. Because it was Jake. Oh, wait, no, he got eliminated. Yeah, because Jake was in the bottom 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Because that's when it was him and Natalie. And then it was, I guess, him again. And, he got eliminated the following week for Power Ballads.
Who was it? It was Jakey, myself, and one other mystery person. Right? Or was it just Jakey and I?
Because this is when, they at one point they started making the contestants pick
Yes.
who gets eliminated, right?
The worst.
And and then they voted Jakey out.
Mm-hmm.
There was somebody else, and I don't remember who that was. But you won Country Night?
Mm-hmm.
How was that? What I mean, the you have that country in you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm a Texan through and through.
You got that twang, don't you have a
Yes, sir.
different out of state number? But that's another thing. That's another thing, I guess.
We don't talk about Bruno. I just like the number, okay? It was a good number.
Yeah, I like this number.
Still puro, 9x6. So, yeah, actually, throughout the competition, there was a lot that I was holding back, all the time. because, there were things that I wanted to keep secret, things that I wanted to, like, hold back and be like, oh, this will be a cool surprise for later on. Oh, I could do this for the finale. Oh, I could do this for, like, semifinals or whatever.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, there's a lot that I didn't do. However, one of the things that I was saving was kind of for country night. And that was, everyone was used to me singing all the way up here all the time.
Yeah.
And y'all can't see Alexis's face right now, but what they weren't expecting. Oh, you were there at Aldo's. Was they weren't expecting me to lock them doors and turn them lights down low and put some music on that's soft and slow. Oh, baby, we ain't got no. So they weren't expecting my deeper register to come out because they had never heard it before. And so I started playing Would You Go With Me by Josh Turner, and that was one of the first nights that I performed without a guitar as well. And so throughout the performance, I was, doing my me thing, and I was like, I'm going to actually perform tonight. So I'm dancing, and I'm singing, and I go out into the crowd, and I start dancing with some of the ladies, some of the lads, start, doing my thing a little bit.
You got those tight jeans, those cowboy boots.
The cowboy hat.
Big buckle.
Oh yeah, I did have a buckle that night. And so I won that night. But yeah, it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of wild. Like, I feel like there were a lot of other people who didn't do as well that night as I expected them to. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that was, so in country night, you also picked for a judge's pick, which is the following week.
Mm-hmm.
What did you got? What? How did you get that song? I mean, did you like, where is it? Ah, here it is. I found it.
I know, right? It was perfect.
So, Eli got Living La Vida Loca.
Living La Vida Loca.
Oh, man.
That was a good one.
And you had immunity.
I did.
Like, for what? You were going to do that song.
I was expecting to win that night too, but
so how did you do Living La Vida Loca? Acoustic, or did you have the track and you dance like in track or something?
I had the track, but funny enough, I actually, when I was rehearsing Living La Vida Loca, I rehearsed, with dancing. I was dancing throughout the rehearsals. However, when I was dancing, I was listening to the track and I wasn't singing for the most part. I was just dancing just to like get the groove right and like to get the motions. And it was like, take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. And I like, pantomime like rain falling from above so that it would give the audience more of a, immersive performance.
Mm-hmm.
They could like visualize it a little bit better, or like, it'd give them a little bit more to like go off of. However, I never sung while I was dancing, and vice versa. I would sing, but I don't think I sung with the, with the dancing or with the proper key. So I'd be singing lower just to get the words down, but I wasn't singing to match the pitch of the track. So the day comes around, and I realize that none of these things are coinciding with how my performance should be. So I had to try to find the key. I had to try to do it right. And I realized that it was like way too high for me, or it felt like it was way too high for me. So I was like panicking, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna get this. I'm not gonna get this." But I had to get it, and so I I pulled off whatever I did, but it was with a track, and it was with a lot of dancing, and I had my hair cut and dyed beforehand, so I could do a big reveal on stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It was all pretty wild, man. But I definitely say I wish I would have rehearsed it a little bit more cohesively so that the dancing would match up with the singing and the singing would match up with the track. But it was a lot of fun.
What did the judges say about it?
Funny enough, one of the judges, well, they noticed that at one point that the lyrics were off, but they didn't notice that the lyrics were off in the wrong spot. The spot that they thought that the lyrics were off weren't off. That was sort of me just there's a part in the song where he starts going da 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 da. He starts like scatting basically. And that was kind of like where I was scatting, but they didn't realize that the second verse, I just repeated the first verse. And yeah. But it was because it was because of the track. Like in my head, things were like all off, and during the performance, I was gonna take off the cap. But Nana was like, take off your hat before, or I don't even know what, but I don't know. Something threw me off, and then in my head, because I didn't rehearse it like well enough, I guess I didn't account for like things that could go wrong, so that I could jump back into the fold after things got messed up. And so something threw me off, and I had this like super sexy shirt underneath that I was planning on like taking off my jacket throughout the performance to like reveal this very Ricky Martin type.
A little fishnet shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the notes were the lyrics. The notes were, it was a very, very like performative performance. Very exciting. Very wow. And funny enough, one of them thought that it was like it was the song, the way that I was singing it, it was too low for my register. Like they were like, you should sing it like higher. And I was like, oh, that's funny, because I thought it was too high for me. But yeah, those were all the notes, I think.
But you moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're at the semifinals.
Yes.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10 RGV Got Talent Season 1. It was movie night. Night at the movies.
Yeah.
What'd you do for that?
That night I did a Rocket Man.
Yep.
I performed Rocket Man. It was either between that or I Will Go the Distance, or I Can Go the Distance. The Hercules track.
Oh.
And I changed it kind of like last minute when I saw that Andre was performing before me. I was like, oh crap, if Andre's performing before me, like right before me, I'm gonna have to switch it up, because I know he's gonna do some like luxurious thing. So I need to like, I was planning costumes. I was gonna go buy like a motorcycle helmet and like all these things, but I don't know, something happened and it was like times just didn't line up. And so I performed Rocket Man last minute, and it was tough. It was funny because it was like I had planned. I was like, I should go and tell the judges to like that I want to start the performance. I was going to start the performance from outside. So I was going to start the performance outside of Rockwell. and then the track starts with like rocket ship sounds, and I was gonna like burst in whenever the rockets like start sounding, and I was gonna like moon walk over to the stage, like not Michael Jackson moonwalk, but like, you know, Apollo 13 moonwalk. So kind of like bound to the stage, and I was going to like when I was gonna do I Will Go the Distance, I was planning on like doing the Andre did this puppet thing when he was on stage, and I was planning on like, you know, doing something like that, because in the middle of I Can Go the Distance, Hercules' like parents are talking, and they're like, he's just a child, and he's like, I know, but this and that, and then Andre does it, and I'm like, oh my god, he's doing because he came on from off stage, and I was like, I was gonna do that, and I was like, okay, no, I won't do it now. And everything, I was changing everything around, but it was super cute, and I had Jakey and Adrian come in as part of my performance, and you know, be my co-pilots to space. Sorry, that was a lot, but
No, so then you do the performance, right? How did the actual performance go? Think you did good?
I think I did okay. Yeah, there was some point like on stage where I don't know, I heard myself, and I was like, I don't like the way that sounds, and I got in my head again. And so after that, I was like, I was just thinking that I was like, I'm just gonna perform, and I'm just gonna like finish out this song, and I know that I'm like, you know, this isn't everything that I envisioned for the performance. So I was like, I really can't tell where this is gonna go, but I finished it out, and it was nice, but it definitely wasn't everything that I planned, because I think, again, I got in my head. And if anyone, you know, if there's anything you guys can get from this, ladies and gentlemen, and lads and lasses, homies, home slices, legends and legenditos of the podcast, if there's one thing you can get from this, from my tales, my woes, is don't get out of your head. It's get out of your head, you know? Stop like thinking so much and just focus on what is what. And do your diggity darndest. Do your diggity darndest. And just, you know, lasso the sun. Just do your thing. You know, fake it till you make it, but don't just fake it. Like, inject yourself with, you know, godliness. Inject yourself with like, I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm doing this. And just do your thing. Get out of your head. Stop worrying about things. Just do it. Believe in yourself. And even if you don't believe in yourself, just love what you're doing and live your love. Do your thing.
All right. There's always a reason to not do something. Right?
Yeah.
Most of the times they're not good.
Yeah.
Just do it. So you got eliminated that night.
Yeah.
Semifinals. Made it to semifinals. You know, I've said this on a couple other episodes. But from the beginning, from about week 2, I was talking to Juan. I was like, Juan, and every time you would talk to Juan, he would just feel like, this guy's gotta be on cocaine.
Wow.
He's like, you have so much energy, man. Like, I would ask him who he thought top 5 would be. Everybody had you know, different answers. Consensus pretty much Shanti, Chris, Andre, like Aldo. Well, usually people would pick from those top 4. Be like, top 3 and stuff, right? My top 5 was Aldo, Shanti, Andre, Chris, and you.
Let's go, baby.
And I've argued people with that. And people were like, the voice. I'm like, you do have a voice, right? A good voice. It's not as polished or as perfect on pitch as, you know, Chris and Aldo and stuff, but you have that, that thing, right? That performer, that entertainment. And, you know, sometimes people can learn it, but it's very obvious when it's just natural or it's not so overly rehearsed, or it's kind of like your own personality comes through, or maybe it's not something that you're always that way, but you're on stage and something else could take over. And you just have that thing where you can entertain a crowd and keep people just engaged and watch a whole like hour of your show. So that's why I had you in the top 5. And yeah, you didn't make top 5. I was like, damn. I got 3 out of 5.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. That's awesome. I appreciate that.
Have you always been a performer?
Yes. Yeah, I have been.
So where did music start for you?
Music, I think I've always like kind of been in touch with music, even if it's like, you know, from afar. But yeah, growing up, I'd always listen to the radio and like want to like sing along with it. As long as I can remember, you know, around 5. There was Alicia Keys, Gloria Gaynor. Sorry. Yeah, I was always singing. I've always been singing. Black Eyed Peas, the Beatles, a lot of the Beatles, a lot of George Strait, just a lot of music, as long as I can remember. And when I was learning English, my mom had me, like, she had me writing out, like, poems. And so I say, like, since pre-K and before pre-K, I was, you know, sort of dabbling with music. I was sort of dabbling with lyricism. And my first song was probably about, like, you know, as a kid from, like, Texas, who'd never seen before. I was writing about, like, a snowman and romanticizing a snowman for some Valentine's Day project. I drew this little picture of a snowman on a heart-shaped card, and I wrote a little poem about it. And since then, I've just been, you know, writing poems here and there. So I'd say music's always been around and with me. As I got older, I went into middle school. You know, elementary and up, I've been in, like, church singing and stuff. But when I went to middle school, I had this friend who liked my singing. And so, funny enough, they asked me to, like, serenade their girlfriend for them. And I was like, wow, you like my singing like that much? That, like, you think I'm that good, huh? And so I started singing, you know, I like, you know, sing to a shoddy here, there. And as I went into, like, high school, it was like, I've always been a romantic. Some music would connect me, and it was a great way for me to, like, express things, and a great way for me to get things off my chest. So even since, like, from middle school to high school, I'd, like, sneak away in the middle of the night. I'd, like, sneak out of my house, and I'd go sitting on a rooftop I'd go sit on a rooftop, or go to the park, or there was this church that I used to break into in the middle of the night because they had a piano, and I'd go in there and I'd write music and play on the piano like 12 in the morning to like 3, 4 in the morning, and I'd just be just me and the Lord of music, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just kept going, and then there were a lot of breaks. I never really learned how to play piano. It was kind of like just fumbling around and making a lot of mistakes until something sounded okay, or until I could sing to something and until I could make sense of something like a little bit melodically or musically. I had no idea how to play it. It was just sort of guesswork. Then in like 2017, I got kind of tired of waiting to find like a producer. I had been writing all this time and like creating songs, and I was tired of waiting for a manager or waiting for someone. And so I was like, I'm just going to learn how to play piano. There was this old beaten up electronic keyboard at my house that no one had been using. And so I took it out and I started screwing around on it, and I would do that like midnight, and I just do that all times of the day. And I found out I had a USB plug-in, and so I was like, oh, sweet, I can make music. So I started streaming and creating a fan base and learning how to do music. And I just, I just kept going. It's just always kind of been there, and I've just growing it little by little. I'm collecting my things.
So were you ever in like band or choir, orchestra, any of that stuff, like high school?
I was in I was in band.
Yeah, you're a band kid.
Not by choice. But yeah, I was a band kid for a second, and I think I got kicked out because I was not a band kid. I was the best trombonist they had. However, I kind of, took it for granted. I was like, yeah, of course I'm the best trombonist. It's me. You kidding me? Like, who else is going to be better than me? I wanted to play drums. That's what I wanted to do. But so I left band, and then I was in choir. And we were in like the junior varsity. No. I don't even think we were placed in anything. We were just a choir room, and for some reason everyone, like almost everyone in that choir was like really good. And we were all just like, freshmen or like beginners to choir. And well, like we were all, it was just a bunch of guys, but we were all goofballs, and it was like we were always joking around. And I'm pretty sure our choir teacher like hated us but loved us because we were also like, we were pretty funny. And so we were all like, we were really good. And I was like one of the lowest basses they had, but I was singing tenor. And oftentimes, like as a joke, while we were singing, like our guys, we'd be like, woo! And we'd like be hitting, I eventually started hitting whistle notes. I would hit whistle notes as a tenor, who was one of my choir's like lowest basses. And my choir teacher was like, these guys. So he eventually, I don't know how he did it, but he like got us to perform UIL and got us to do, he moved us to junior varsity. And the next year he was like, you guys are going to varsity. Like you guys are too good to not. And that was the last year I did choir. I was only in it for 1 year, but I should have stayed in it.
Did you grow up in the valley? Really? I don't believe you. So were you ever homeschooled?
Yeah, I was homeschooled for a good chunk. It's actually how I Yeah, I was homeschooled for a lot of my schooling, but sadly not all of it. Maybe.
Maybe, who knows?
Were you or
Huh?
were you also homeschooled?
No, why do I seem like I was homeschooled?
Oh, I guess not, because you have the Alamo shirt, huh?
Yeah, you seem like you're homeschooled though.
Why?
I've met some homeschooled people.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, what are they like?
Kind of like you.
Yeah, we're kind of great.
It's an interesting thing. That was a big talk in the podcast with Alexa.
Oh yeah.
She was homeschooled.
Oh wow.
Well, she went to public school, private school, Catholic school, and homeschool.
Oh my gosh.
She did all of it.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah, she was homeschooled for a majority of her schooling. Though.
Okay. Wow. Wow. So, so, what does that mean for us?
Oh man, either homeschool breeds are gonna die off or take over.
Okay. Yeah, I like those odds.
Yeah, I mean it's something. It's always something interesting, I guess, because I mean most people or most kids, I guess, aren't homeschooled, right? So it's always an interesting thing. We're like, oh, so I mean, you stayed home all day.
Yeah.
And what the way she explained it, I was like, that's kind of dumb because she's like, we would go to a place where there's other homeschool kids, and there was a teacher that would come. Oh yeah, I was like, so you went to school? Because
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, so you went to school?
Out of homeschool.
And she's like, no, it's just there's other students, and then teachers would come, and every period they would change for a new subject.
Wow.
And I was like, that's school.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's I mean, it's because all they focused on was school, right? There was no like extracurricular stuff or anything.
Yeah.
And it was shorter or something. But some of it, she said, was at home, and then some at that place. So yeah, it's very different now. I guess you can do it a lot of different ways.
That is. Yeah, that's nuts.
And then, so after high school, did you go to college?
I did actually, and I also did some early college. I was one of those nerds who did like dual. So I'd be taking college courses while I was in like regular school. And so yeah, I did, but it was like very short lived because after that, I guess music kind of got a hold of me, and living life kind of got a hold of me, and I went on a journey.
Journey like Jared Leto? Or?
What journey did he go on?
You hear about that? How he went to the desert for like 40 days or something. And then when he came back, he went to the desert with like a crew of people, right? In February of 2020.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
And then remember what happened in March of 2020?
Yeah.
And he comes back, comes out of the desert like in
wow.
April. I was like, what the hell is going on? Everything was shut down. People were indoors. So it was pretty crazy. I think it was Jared Leto. If it wasn't him, it was another actor.
No, I believe
Kinda
it's
looks
Jared Leto.
Something like he would do.
Yeah, because I think there was like some, talkings of him being like, it was like culty stuff or whatever,
Yeah.
And that's very Jared Leto.
So you didn't study music in college, though?
No, I didn't. I wished I did, but it was always like, I don't know, money was always a concern, and I was like, it was like I'd love to, but I personally couldn't really put myself through it. So I was like, if I can't put myself through it, then I'm not gonna ask anyone else to try and help. I kind of like, if I thought that I couldn't like, if I couldn't support myself and like put myself through college, then it was like, well, you know, that's it. There's nothing else that I really can do, and that's just the way that I saw it. And so yeah, I never went to go study music, but you know, everything happens for a reason, and I hope one day, maybe.
Well, what did you? I guess when did you decide that music was it, the thing in your life that this is what I am, this is what I want to do?
So I'm not sure I've even really decided that yet.
No.
I mean, music definitely is a part of me, and is a part of what I want to do, and part of, you know, what I offer, part of my value or my sense of self, of purpose. But I'm not sure if it's the thing that I want to do just yet. I know that I want to do it, but it's not the thing that I want to do. It's
either
one of the things.
like music or real estate agent. Deciding between those two is
well, it's that I want to do acting.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
You're doing insurance stuff.
Yeah, right.
You do some acting, some modeling.
Yeah, I actually wanted to be a lawyer. I was studying, but life, you know, had a funny way of saying you can't do that, and so it was kind of like I know that, you know, music and acting and performing is like a part of who I am. It's a part of like my being, of my story, of whatever I have to give. It gives me life, and I give it life and give it back to life. Yeah, so it's always been a part of me, and I've just, you know, growing up since elementary up to high school, and outside of it, it was like I'd always been in plays. I've been in plays, and like almost every play that I've been in, give and take a couple where I was like first introducing myself. I don't want to jinx anything. I had been like starred or cast as the lead role. And I kind of just took that as like, that's part of who I am. You know, it's not that I'm the lead role, but it's like that's what I want to give, that's what I'm going to give. It's not that I am, but that I'm going to make it mine. And so that's another thing when I say, like, don't be in your head so much, just be. Like, if you're going to be something, just be it, or just make it yours. Like, do your thing. Don't worry so much about what works and what doesn't, and what the right formulas are, the right steps to take are. Just, you are it. You are that person. And so, growing up, I'd just always been that person. It wasn't like a thought. It wasn't like something that I really took pride in, or that I was cocky about, or that I was anything really. It wasn't even a thought. It was just, I was that person, and it wasn't that I was better than anyone. It was just because I didn't believe that. I've always like grown up thinking that everyone has so much to give and so much to bring, and they have all this light and this, you know, power. I think everyone is just as incredible as anyone else, and most of the time it's just us discovering what we're incredible at. Everyone's incredible in their own rights, and everyone has what they're doing, but I knew that was for me. And if it wasn't for me, it was because it was going to be for me. And because I was learning how to make it mine. I was learning how to fit in my own shoes. And so it wasn't so much that I chose that was what it was going to be. It was kind of like a gradual, this is who I am. It was gradually learning that this is a part of me. And how can I become who I am? How can I continue growing this part of me?
Does the thought of being successful greater than you imagine scare you?
Greater than I imagine?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible. I think I'm just learning how to fit in those shoes. It doesn't scare me. It maybe gives me hope. Because I guess there's a lot of good that I want to bring into the world. And there's a lot that I'm looking forward to. And I know that one day I'm going to be there. I'm just currently on my I'm on my path. I'm on my road. And things are hard. But I know that I'll be there one day. And it's not scary. It's just giving me hope that one day I'll be able to, when I'm there, I'll be able to give more to people. That's kind of like one of my biggest hopes, that I'm able to help as many people as I can when I am enabled, that I'm able to create and give as much as I can. So it doesn't scare me. It's exciting because there are so many people out there, and there's so much that I have to offer to the world that I'm excited to offer. And there's so much that I have to learn, and so much that I would love to give. Yeah, and I hope that doesn't come off as arrogant or, self-inflated, but it does kind of sound like that. I'm just, I just think there's so much that I have left. And there's so much that there are so many people out there who need a hug. There are so many people out there who need just someone, who need someone that can connect them to, whatever is their future, whatever is that next step. And I think that I would love to be one of those people. I would love to be someone who can help connect that gap. I wish I could be someone who could give you your favorite story, or be a part of your favorite memories and your favorite moments. And it's an honor, and it would be an honor. And I would, I think I'd like to give it like the respect and the commitment that it deserves.
All your songs that you've written originals, about how many roughly have you written, would you say, original? Notebook full.
I've It's more than a couple of notebooks.
More than a couple.
Yeah.
Those are a lot of songs.
Well, some of them are short, but it'll be like, I'll write one page, and then the next page will be the other half of the song. and then you flip it over, and then it'll be one song here, and then maybe another song here, and then flip it over, and one song, one half of a song.
Where does that inspiration come from?
Just life. It comes from everywhere. From everywhere and anywhere. It's it's really everywhere and anywhere. It could be this sitting here right now. Me thinking about how I have to pee. But sorry guys. But you know, having this conversation, it could be inspiration from that picture on the wall, or that cobweb in the corner, just dangling, hanging.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere and anywhere. It's in a flower. It's in a plastic flower in a rose bush. It's in a bug crawling on a leaf. And it's kind of like that Maui thing, how everything's up for interpretation. Not only is everything up to interpretation, but everything's also up for inspiration and decision to make. So while you may style your hair a certain way, and for me, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, he has cool hair. He has his hair like that. For you, it could just be like, this is the only way that, like, it falls. This is the only way that it works. Like, my hair parts this way and only parts this way, and I've had to, like, deal with it over the years. Or to someone else, it could be like, you know, someone with like perfectly straight hair. It could be that is what they want, and you pull it off so, like, flawlessly, so perfectly, and that could be their inspiration. You know, everyone can interpret all these things, and it's just hair, but to everyone else, it could mean something different. And if you decide to do it a certain way or that way, everyone could read into it. It's assumptions all the time. My mind is overthinking 24/7. Whether it's like, you know, glancing to the side and then seeing that blue Post-it note and wondering what's on it, even though I have no business and no reason to be curious. It's just my mind is overworking 24/7. And so inspiration comes from anything and everywhere. Just as long as I'm, like, focusing on it. You know, growing up, I used to stare at a blank wall when I was on timeout.
Yeah.
And I would make faces in the wall. I wouldn't get tired. Like, timeout wouldn't be like bad. It would just be me, like, making up stories in the wall.
Mm-hmm. You see the beauty in everything.
Yeah.
And when you say you see the beauty in everything, do you mean you look past its initial, you know, just physical form, say like the pile of trash? Do you find beauty in the pile of trash, or would you say that pile of trash is beautiful in its own way?
That's interesting. Thank you for the question. I'd say that it's very interesting. Right now I'm kind of in a I've been in a kind of, like, really, really difficult spot. I'd say the last few years have been definitely some of the hardest that I've known. And right now I'm in a fairly particularly tricky space. And so there are a lot of times that I find myself frustrated, discouraged, feeling broken and surrounded by trash. And you know, we'll say that trash is a metaphor for like problems. Trash can be a metaphor for like discomfort. It can be a metaphor for body dysmorphia or hunger or mental issues, whatever it is, right? And so there's a lot of frustration that I feel. And a lot of just wanting to clean it all out, wanting to like pick it up and throw it away and put it wherever it can fit. But I wouldn't call actually no. Yeah. I'm frustrated. I don't like the problems. I don't like the trash. But if you take a look at what makes up all those problems, whether it's a snack wrapper, from a day that you picked up a ding dong because you were like really hungry. Maybe you were just really craving a pinguino, right? And so you got that one and you got it with a friend. And you guys are just munching on this snack and you take it back or you put it in your pocket. And then next thing you know, you have this trash with you. You're carrying this trash, let's say. And as you go along, you notice that you pick up a lot of trash. You pick up a lot of like little things that are cluttering your life. You can't fit your hands in your pockets anymore. All these things are taking up all this space and it's over encumbering you. And it's like you can't fit any more trash in your pockets, but you keep picking it up because you see the beauty all around you and you see these things and you want to make something else beautiful. So you go to a friend and they're having a problem and you pick up their trash and you put it in your pocket, whatever you can take with you, whatever you can take from them. And by the time that you get home, you take out your pockets and there's all this trash everywhere and you're trying to get out the house the next day. And on your way out the door, you see all this trash on the floor. And it can be so frustrating. Because it's like, there's all this that's just like piling on me and there's all this in my way and you know where you want to be, but there's all this trash in the way. You know how you want to live. You know what you should be like, how you should be treating yourself and how you should be taking care of yourself, but you're over encumbered. You don't have any more space. And I get frustrated about that. But I suppose it's once you're able to take the time to acknowledge each piece and you're able to clean it all out and say, it's time. It's time to clean this out. It's time to put this where it belongs. It's time to get rid of this because I can't be holding it. That you can start, I'd say after it's all packed away, you can realize that every one of those things came from an experience, from a memory. That just shows that you lived. That shows that you are doing and you are going and you are trying. And even though all this is piling up, you manage to go wherever you are and you manage to pick up beauty. You manage to live. You manage to live once in a while, the trash isn't in itself beautiful. It tells a story of where you were, what you've done, how you are, and who you are right then and there. It tells a story of a life. The trash isn't beautiful in its own, but the collection of memories, everything behind it, I guess, is beautiful. And sometimes you could probably cry thinking about the person who has to carry all of that with them, and how badly they wish that somehow someone or something would take it all away, or they could clean it all out. You could just wish and hope that they could have that they could get that peace. Sometimes I guess it's kind of sad to think about how hard that person works to, fit all this trash in their pockets. How hard they work to be and to make as much beauty as they can, so that other people don't have to worry, or so that they can share and create as much beauty for other people. Everyone tries, and everyone wants to be happy, and I think everyone deserves to be happy. And I'm proud of everyone for trying.
You know how I've always thought, well, actually, no, not always thought. I thought the way I view people has changed over the years. But I think if people were to just see how much valuable other people are. So this is the way I see it. Like, if there's 3 of us here, right? My life is worth less than yours. But yours is also worth less than mine. And then mine is worth less than this person. This person's less than yours. It's not about being better than the other person. It's about seeing the value in everybody. And if you think somebody's life is more valuable than yours, then how can you hurt them? How can you, intentionally do something bad to the people? But it's hard, I guess, right, for people to, everybody has their own problems. Everybody has their own things to worry about, to do. But everybody does deserve to be happy. Right? It does no good for somebody else to suffer.
Yeah.
especially when you can do something about it. But it does take a toll. And that's just something that sometimes people have to carry with them.
Yeah.
But we're all here for each other, right? Might be some people that take advantage, some people that don't care. But that doesn't mean everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Or that it's not worth it. Or that it's not worth it to try or be good and help people.
Yeah, I think it's it's kind of like in the competition, you know. I don't know if you noticed it, but there were often times where if someone was like stumbling on stage, or you know, they weren't singing the words right, or they were like getting like nervous or whatever it was, I try to like run front and center to like be the focus of their attention, to be like, you're just singing with me. It's just you and I. You're doing great. You're doing fantastic. Don't worry about anyone else. Don't think about anyone else. Just perform. I'd try and like, you know, I'd be anyone's cheerleader out there, because you're right. It doesn't help anyone to see someone else fail. And moreover, if we can lift everyone up, it doesn't make us less. It just makes everyone more. And if everyone's doing better, then everything is doing better. Like, it's not just about like the individual. It's like, I don't know. It's like you take care of people and people will take care of you. But also you take care of people and people will be able to take care of themselves, and they'll be able to take care of other people. And, you know, you can start this infectious wave. But like you said, some people will try and take advantage. And there are often times that like you find people who are willing to take advantage of others, and or oftentimes that, you know, you can get taken advantage of and you wonder, am I doing it wrong? Should I be doing that? Should I be on the offense right now? It's not that nice guys finished last, but gosh darn it. How are those guys so far ahead?
It's a cycle. It's a cycle that needs to stop.
Just kidding.
Just stop it. You know, if you want to be better, then you have to surround yourself with better people. Or people that are better than you. And just look at it in terms of music, right? It's not just so much they're a better musician than you or better singer or anything, right? Because everybody has their own talents, their own things. But there's something that other people do that you don't do, that you can learn from. And so many people will try to, you know, be the best. And if you truly are the best, then you stop growing. Right? Because at some certain point, people are like, well, I'm already the best.
Yeah.
Why get better? Why help other people get better? Why lift myself up even more when I'm already at the top? So just always try and see the what other people do that maybe you don't, and you want to learn. And then everybody learns. Everybody gets better. So, you want to sing a song?
Oh, yeah, okay.
What do you got in store?
So I got a couple of ditties. We got a couple of ditties out here. There's this one that I've been working on. So I told you I have a songwriting group, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that also in a bit.
Okay. So I have a couple of songs that I've written and songs that I've written for that songwriting group. So I think that I'll do a couple of those. Now, mind you, these aren't finished, but they are fun, and they're going to be finished one of these days, probably. So these songs, and this first one that I'm going to show you, is called Reasons. I started writing it actually I was playing Zach Bryan's Something in the Orange. It borrows some of the same chords. And one thing that I noticed is that I tend to how do you say, when I said that I would be dedicated enough to bring myself to someone's story and to be, to do greatness, I find myself often like leaving or leaving my regular life and giving away what I need as a person, and I'll give myself up to this to obtain or to achieve where I want to be. So oftentimes in relationships, I'll find myself breaking away, and I'll find myself ending relationships because I'm like, I got too much. Well, maybe. I know that we were close, but I gave in to reason. I hope one day the smoke it clears and removes our fears. I know that we were close, but I gave in to reasons. I hope one day the smoke it clears and removes her fears. And she's been playing me just like a puppet. 3 musketeers, we're all in the pockets. I can't understand going for doubles. When you broke me, yeah, you broke me to 2. I've been searching for peace while you tear me to pieces. Baby, I understand you have your reasons. Science and stars, something Scorpio season. Baby, I bet you got both. So hold me close and then let me go, unless you got something to prove. So hold my hand, 'cause I'm holding it in. The only way out I see's through. Oh, you know I don't make plans if I do them without you. Oh, you know that I wish I would. I hope one day we grow, and in time listen to reasons. I hope one day we know why life it goes through seasons. I know that we were close, but I
gave in to reasons. I hope one day the smoke it clears and removes our fears. And no, I've been lying when I sleep, 'cause I caught myself smiling knowing I'd leave. And I guess you never seen an angel up close. No, I don't drink too often, but I'll stay for toast. Maybe this time I've got things I wanna do, but you see, I know that we were close, but I think I got somewhere to be. I know that we were close, but I gave in to reason. I hope one day the smoke it clears and removes our fears. And I hope one day we grow and time listens to reasons. I hope one day we know why life changes through seasons. So I hope one day we grow. I know that we were close, but I gave in to reasons.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you guys very much.
We got a live studio audience.
Oh, yeah.
That was Eli Maagic.
Thank you. Yeah, that song was called Reasons. And I'll be working on it soon with a mystery producer. I say mystery because I'm not sure who I'm going to get to do it yet, but it's going to be a good one. And I'm going to find the right person because that's a good one. But yeah, like the song said, you know, there are a lot of things, you know, life has many things that it goes through, whether it's seasons or whether it's like seasons of your life. But everything probably has a reason. And, you know, a lot of things are up for interpretation, but, you know, I end up listening to a lot of reasons. And I end up making up a lot of reasonings. And I hope that whoever I've left in the past, I hope that things make sense one day. And I hope that I hope and I pray that there aren't any hard feelings and or that, you know, it's hard to leave someone. And I can't imagine being left. But I hope that one day everything makes sense. And I hope that if y'all are out there and listening to this, I hope that we were able to give and be the best for each other. And that, you know, from all that we were able to grow and that we are where we need to be and we are heading where we need to be. And I hope that everything has its reason and things work out. I love you guys. What do you think of the song?
Yeah, it's a good song. How long ago did you write that, Ron? Or when did you start writing it?
August 19th.
This year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this year. It was actually during Power Ballads. They were like, I think you forgot some of the lyrics. And I was like, no, I didn't. And I wasn't improvising. That's from a song. But I kind of like low-key improved it. But it is from a song. It was just like, I was like, oh, maybe I should throw this in there. That'd be flavorful. So I did it. But yeah, I started writing that in August.
So this songwriting club, what is that?
Yes. So on Sundays, we don't necessarily wear pinks or any particular color, but I've been gathering together some artists. It's not just limited to songwriters, although that is one of the biggest focuses. But it is for artists and people who want to develop their songwriting skills or song creating skills. So I bring them together into a venue. I want to eventually branch out and see where we can go. But we've been going to like different spots and meeting up, and I will bring them a theme and maybe a technique or something that I can give to them to help their songwriting skills sort of blossom and grow and be challenged. And we will sit together for about 3 hours and just work on music, just work on a song or work on writing songs or work on like delving into that sort of field. And so we just get together and write music. It's really cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Last time you mentioned it was a pretty big crowd, or a lot more than you were expecting.
Yeah. So I've had to like, I went on a hiatus because again, life is crazy, and there was a lot. There's so much that's still going on that when that happened, when we had like 18 people in there or however many it was, I was like, I am not organized enough to host this many people. I brought like snacks and stuff, and that day we had all these people coming in. We didn't have enough water for everyone, and so we're there performing, and everyone's like jamming and stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is wild, because it was like there were a lot of people, and it started getting like hot and stuff, and there was like so much music being made that it was hard for one person who was writing a song over here to not get music bleeding from the other like group and the other group. And so it was like everyone's music was kind of clashing. So it's like if you're trying to write a slow song and someone like the room next over is like, don't want to be an American idiot or whatever, it's gonna be hard to be like la 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 when it's like bada bada bada, because then all of a sudden you're going la 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 la, and it's like, dang it, So I went on a hiatus, and I'm just slowly bringing it back now, and we're gonna see where and how big our songwriting group can be while being sustained.
What kind of made you start this?
So Adrian, a good buddy of mine, he was actually one of the people who helped me get into music. He started teaching me guitar, and before I got this bad boy, he lent me a classical guitar, and he was like teaching me guitar, and he taught me ukulele. And while he was teaching me ukulele, I wrote that song Riptides. I wrote that song Riptides, and that was only knowing like 3 chords, or like 2 chords, and like 2 of the chords I made up. So, well, back in the day, like 2017, 2018, he used to take me, like him and his family, they were very musically inclined, and we just play music all the time, and they started inviting me over to music things. And there was this venue in Harlingen, Texas, that was called the Prelude. Now, the Prelude was a songwriters club. It wasn't just a songwriters club. It was a cafe that had a stage. And at this venue, the owners would host a songwriters club called Song Chasers. And we would meet up on Wednesdays, I believe. Thursdays? Wednesdays. And we would write songs together. And it was the coolest thing because you would meet all these different like artists and people who would like be singing and writing and crafting, and they would have like little, it was just a super cute venue, and you get to perform your songs at the end of it and get criticism and whatever, and you could like learn how to do this. And I was like, that was the coolest thing ever. And it turns out the Prelude, I believe, closed. And so coming back to Texas, I was like, man, it sucks that we don't have that, because that was really cool. And I was like, you know what? I can't just be upset that it's not here and like just let that be the end of it. I'm going to make it. Like, if it's not here, I'm going to create this thing. I'm going to make it into a thing, because that's something that we need. We need art to flourish down here. And if no one is feeding it, everyone's going to be stuck in their rooms trying to like bedroom produce themselves until they turn like 30, 35, however old, 20, and they like lose their drive. Everyone has that moment where they're like, oh, I tried it, but I didn't get that far. Everyone has that moment where they're like, I can't be waiting for a producer or manager anymore. I'm going to do it myself. And if they just keep on bedroom producing it, they won't, it's there's a probability that they won't get where they want to be because they don't know how to do the business side of things. Or it's like everyone can do better if they just had help. If everyone was helping each other, the world would be a better place. And so I was like, I'm going to create this thing so that I can be that push, so that I can help that one artist who doesn't know that there's a community out there. I can help them branch out, and I can help them find what they need. I can help people like singers who need a band. I can connect them with like a drummer or a guitarist or whatever. People who need like, or want to do features, collabs, I can help them like get connected here. And so the plan is to get an in-house producer who can, produce for people there at this songwriters club for like a fee. But it'd just be a way to enable the art in the Valley. Yeah. It's pretty groovy.
Yeah, I think it's pretty important. I mean, the Valley is growing. When I left 2015, I lived in Austin for a good 6 years. And then I came back, and it got so much bigger.
Yeah.
There's all this traffic now.
Oh,
So much construction. There's a main event. There's a Canes. There's a Canes
yeah.
here.
A couple, aren't there?
Yeah, there's a couple now. There's one by University, one by
Jimmy John's.
So the Valley keeps growing. It's gonna be a football team now. The University.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is, a lot of talent. There have been very famous people from the Valley. I mean, Freddie Fender.
Freddie Fender. Yeah.
And he looks like that very famous adult film star, but
Ronathan.
and Bobby Pulido. You know who that is? No, he went to Edinburgh High School. He's a very famous Tejano star.
I think I've heard of him. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, he's huge, especially in Texas. There's been a lot in the Valley, but
Wasn't Ramon Ayala?
yeah, Ramon Ayala. There's a lot of big Tejano and norteño bands from the Valley.
Where was Mario Lopez from?
He's from California, Southern California.
Okay.
He's in Texas a lot.
Yeah, because I saw him at like a float once, a parade down here.
Yeah, he's in San Diego. But yeah, he comes to the valley quite a bit for some reason. But there is, right? There's people, there's talent, there's it's a culture thing.
Yeah,
I think more than anything. It's a cultural thing.
yeah,
The parents, the grandparents. And I think as time goes on, that's starting to change, but very slowly. So, then it's just a push, right? Or
yeah,
help or show that it's possible.
yeah. That's what we gonna do, baby. That's what we gonna do.
That's why I want to. I'm really thinking about doing a PhD in engineering.
Oh yeah.
So I'm doing a master's now. And interesting statistic is there's about 3,000 engineering PhD professors in the U.S. From those 3,000, 600 are Hispanic. And from the 600, 40 were born in the U.S. and Hispanic.
Wow.
Very few.
Wow.
And none from the valley that I know of. And, I came from a family of immigrants, migrants who would go to Indiana every year, season, picking plants or picking the plantations and stuff. You can do it. Anybody can do it. It's hard.
Yeah.
Living in Austin 6 years wasn't easy.
I bet.
It's not like I had a place to go over there and family stuff. No, made on my own. Joined a group over there. Made a lot of money. Paid for school and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Wow.
But it can be done.
What did you do up there? Besides school, I mean.
I played in a mariachi.
Okay. So that's where it started, or what?
Yeah. Well, playing professionally, in Austin. I started mariachi in high school down here.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved over there. Met a. There was a Facebook page for mariachi community in San Antonio, Austin area. Guy posted he needed a rhythm player. I was like, I play kind of. I went. I knew maybe 3 songs. That's about it, like by memory. And he kept me on. And I learned, and I had to learn fast because it was just me.
Yeah.
And then from there, you just meet other people, meet more people. I played in officially a total of 3 groups when I was over there. People help each other out a lot. I played with a lot of people, but that I was a part of, officially 3. And that was good. I mean, it was fun, but living the life of a musician is exhausting. You're up maybe till 2 a.m. Nights. Then you got school during the week.
Yeah.
So now I don't play as much. Just focusing on school. But yeah, I think everybody should do what they want and try it. Just now it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. You want to do another song?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just, how do you say, registering, letting that soak in.
Yeah.
How long did it take until things started working out for you up there?
About a year and a half.
And that was with the wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's about a year and a half till I got my stuff together. So I left, I didn't have, I wasn't really speaking to my mom, my dad, just talked to him, but he couldn't really help much. And there was a point or I was living over there in San Marcos, subleasing an apartment for the summer. And I had, not even exaggerating, $7. It was a Tuesday. I had to decide what I do. Do I eat? Do I get gas? Because I'm not going to get money again until the earliest Thursday. Because that's when we have a restaurant that we play at. And was hanging out with a friend who he lived in the area. I met him at Texas State. And he lived close by. I went. And it's a coincidence. His mom. It was with his mom, and we went out to eat. So, and she paid for everything. So that was nice. But after that, there's no reason I should be in this position. I made bad choices financially, and just a lot of bad choices that still deal with, still think about. But I can do it. I mean, why shouldn't I be able to do it? So I started being very strict with my budget, careful with money, and ever since that day, there hasn't been a time where I've been out of money. Been close to it. Got close to that point again, but not where I ever had to decide of eating or getting gas was a decision.
Yeah.
So, but it was about a year and a half of going through that, and I was able to finally start saving, budgeting, and keeping track. And it's been good since then, at least in terms of money.
If I could ask, what was one of your worst financial mistakes? And what were one of your biggest financial saviors?
Yeah, it's good. I think the biggest mistake, if it's just a single purchase, then it would have to be, it's tough to say because I bought a lot of instruments.
Gotcha.
A lot. Like, I spent well over 10 grand on instruments over the years, and I've sold a lot of them. I didn't need them, but they would also make me money. They paid off themselves.
Right.
But did I really need 5 basses, 6 violas, 4 guitars?
Yeah.
No, you could just have one of each, maybe 2, in case one breaks, and you're good. And all that money could have invested it to something else.
Yeah.
But I bought them. They paid for themselves, but I didn't need them. There's that. Buying things that you don't need just because you're able to, which goes along with the other thing of food. I spend a ridiculous amount of food.
Yeah.
Amount of money on food. If you cook and you portion and ration and you're smart with it, easily, and I did this, $50 a week max is what you'll spend. Maybe the first week will be more because you got to buy bigger stuff, but then you start to learn how to ration and portion things. $50 a week is the max, what you need. But if you start eating out, you start doing all these things, which you can, but when you do it every week or every day, every other day, the biggest thing that saved me is I don't smoke, never have, and I don't drink. And I don't play video games. Also an expensive hobby.
Yeah, that's true.
If I did those things, I probably would have not made it. Yeah. Either making stupid mistakes or just spending all money on beer and drugs and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. Because, It's crazy to think about how much people spend on these things, and they don't even question it. It's not even like a second guess. It's like their expenses that are a given. They're like a necessity. You know, they're like they're normal. They're normalized to them. You know, they're these people who will just spend them and won't give it a second look or won't give it a second thought. They'll just be like, yep, no, it's just a thing. I need it today or whatever. And it's like, wow. Like, you know, it's like, can you imagine like what would happen if they just one day were like, no, like it just, no. Like if that was just like completely wiped away, like they just accumulate this money and what would they spend it on? Would they find another like thing to like indulge in and like waste it away on? Or would they, you know, like I feel like we take things for granted a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. It's easy to say, just this one thing, and it turns into this one thing, but 10 times.
Yeah.
It still adds up. And so I've kept track of every single dollar that I've ever spent for the last 3 years, since January of 2019.
Dang.
I mean, everything, every food, any clothes, gas, bills, it's all in spreadsheets. And I know exactly how much I made that year, how much I spent, how much I
Dang.
profit.
So taxes are easy for you, huh?
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I do, even with engineering, as I do industrial engineering. So it's related. Biggest, I guess, the smartest thing I did with money. Well, I mean, besides not spending it, I guess you need a good car, like a good, reliable car,
No.
and it could cost you, but how crucial that is. You know, you're going to work, oh, it breaks down. Now you got to repair it, and now you're out of money for the day because you're not going to work.
Yeah.
And then you still got to find a way to, you know, get home, or, you know, a tow truck. Maybe somebody helped you. So I think always having a nice car the past few years, though it's been money, a good amount of money spent on each car. It's very, very useful. Uh,
Yeah.
Now, what I did last year with money that I was able to accumulate so much was the fact, and this killed me. This destroyed me physically, mentally. Was I started working right as an engineer already at this company over by Waco, Monday through Friday. So it means weekends were off.
Mm-hmm.
Austin is about an hour and a half, and that's where the group was that I played with. So I would drive
Oh, wow.
Friday every week to Austin, spend the weekend, play other gigs, and then come back. That means I was working 7 days a week, and sometimes playing till like 2 in the morning. And then I started grad school while doing all that.
Wow.
So there was literally no break.
Wow.
I started grad school, so I was in work all day till about 4 to 5. Go home, read 40-page chapters. You got exams, quizzes, finals, and weekend go play, go work more. I was able to pay all my expenses and stuff with work, and then with gigs, that was cash that I was able to save. But it destroyed. I got bad eye strain. I was just so tired. But the reason I say it's someone smart is because I recently got fired, well, back in October. But I have some money to hold me over until I find another job or see what else I do.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's a struggle. God, it's not easy. You know how many people I know from here, from the valley, that left after high school? 'Cause everybody wants to leave, right? Everybody's like, I got to get out of the valley and do. And then they do it, and then they get scared and come back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was hard. Yeah, life's hard,
Yeah.
but you got to do it.
Yeah. You don't really get another option.
Yeah.
Oh man. I love you guys. Yeah. Well, here's the, hoping we figure out life and figure out our options. We got this, guys.
Yeah. There's a reason for everything that's happening.
So I've been thinking about creating like a creator's crib, like a content house, because I think that'd be super tight. And I want to do it so bad, but it's like, it's finding the people who want to do it, finding people who will do it, finding people who will like subject themselves to, getting scared and continuing on, because that's hard to find. And so I will say one thing. When I was a streamer, oh wait, please. When I was a streamer, I made money. And I feel like I do this all the time. I'll make money and I'll have, a fair set of money, like a nice little pouch. And then I will, if something happens, I'll have enough to tide me over until my next, plan or whatever. But I'll often squander that moment of levity. Is it levity? I'm going to say leisure. I don't know about levity. I think levity is when you treat things funny. Yeah, I'll squander those moments of leisure, and instead of working immediately or finding a way to work immediately, I will wait until I start panicking again. I'll wait until I'm at the bottom of the pot, and I'll be like, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. And I'll start trying to go to the top. And at that point, I'm already on my last legs. And if you guys ever catch me out there and I'm not doing the most, I'm not doing my best, I'm not going the hardest, I'm not doing everything I can, please beat me up. And maybe not, but just get me back on track. Make sure I'm going hard. I'm in.
Yeah. So hit Eli. That's the point.
Oh,
You want to do another song?
Yes.
Before we get out of here.
yes. So this song I wrote at my song day thing. I think this is one of the last song days that I had. Now this day, I brought together our songwriters, and it was just a couple of us. But I have this book that I've been reading. It's kind of like a self-help book. And I was like, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to bring this book, and I'm going to tell them that they have to pick a number 1 through 100, right? And whatever number they pick, I'm going to turn to this book, this page in the book, or this lesson in the book, and I'm going to have them write a song about that chapter or about the title of that chapter or whatever it is, or about that page. And so that's what we did. And this song that I got was called, or the chapter that I got was called Become Aware of Your Emotions. So I wrote this little ditty, and hopefully I can remember it and remember how it goes. Probably should have practiced it before, but song day number 5.
Some days are harder than they seem. Some days it's watching what you think. Some days if it's not alright, it might just be.
I'm gonna hit that again.
Some days aren't harder than they seem. Some days it's watching what you think. Some days when it's not alright, it might just be. Thoughts will start to pull apart. My hopeful mind, my careful heart. My earnest sight ended by my blinding perspective left overdriving. And bridges start to burn before my eyes begin to learn that maybe it's in my mind. Maybe we're just fine. Maybe sometimes before we pull ourselves apart, we remember we're alright. Some things are harder than they seem. Some days it's watching what you think. Some days when it's not alright, it might just be. Thoughts will start to pull apart my hopeful mind, my careful heart. Earnest sight ended by my blinding perspective left over diving. Bridges start to burn before my eyes begin to learn that maybe it's in my mind. Maybe we're all just fine. Maybe sometimes before we pull ourselves apart, we remember we're alright.
Thank you very much. You're amazing. Thanks.
That was Eli Magic on Los Mariachi Sagas 96.9.
Thank you guys very much.
Playing that all day.
Thank you. Yeah, my name's Eli Magic. That's Magic with 2 A's, Maagic. Y'all can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, and my social media is all at Eli, ELIMAGIC. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for having me, Alexis. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. That was that was a lot. You know, that was great. A lot of emotions.
Oh yeah.
We laughed. Oh, we cried. Woo-hoo. I'll be bringing out some like music soon. That I'll be working on. So just keep your guys' eyes peeled, and keep tuned in to Los Mariachi Sagas.
Mr. Eli Magic here for coming out, and you're in one hell of an episode. And we'll see you all next time.
Oh my gosh.
Mariachi Saga.